Claudia Webbe.
Can I thank the Right Honourable Member for Tatton and the Honourable Member for Bristol East for bringing forward this important debate, and to the Backbench Business Committee for granting it. Madam Deputy Speaker, the first job of government is to keep people safe and well. No debate on food strategy and food security is worth its name if the issue of hunger within this country caused by the UK's gross structural inequality is not addressed. In the UK, in September, 4 million children didn't have enough to eat. 1 out of every 4 households with children. Around 3 million of those children have working parents and still face hunger, according to the Joseph Rowntree Foundation. An even higher number, 1 in 3 of our children live in poverty and could tip into hunger at any moment. At the same time, in our country, 1 in 7 adults, around 8 million people, were forced to miss meals because they couldn't afford food as well as other essentials. In my constituency of Leicester East, 42% of children are living in poverty, and a percentage that will only have risen as household bills rocket. The UN Special Rapporteur for Extreme Poverty visited the UK only 4 years ago and was shocked. Shocked at what he saw. He said that the issues of poverty, hunger and inequality were not expensive to fix, and that the government could easily put them right if it chose to. Instead, the situation has been allowed to become much worse. Some would say it has been knowingly accelerated. No food strategy adopted by the government that does not address these issues is fit for purpose. Equally, if the National Food Strategy does not at the same point protect the most vulnerable in society from food price increases, it may do more harm than good. There is no guarantee that the corporate giants in the food industry will not pass on tax costs to consumers. Madam Deputy Speaker, the government must take steps to ensure these businesses are not simply passing the cost of any future tax on sugar or salt onto consumers in order to maintain profits used to pay excessive shareholder dividends and senior staff bonuses. There is no honour, Madam Deputy Speaker, in making the poor pay for the rich. Government's obligations under the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights states that citizens must have access to affordable food without compromising other basic needs. But we already know people are forced to compromise, forced to choose between eating or heating their homes. Will the Minister advise what work has been done to assess the imposition of a regulatory obligation on supermarkets who are wielding incredible power so as to protect the price of food staples, to provide staple, quality, nutritious foods to consumers on a cost recovery basis only? I hope the Minister can advise on the work that has been done in this regard. Government has the power to stop allowing the UK to be a food bank nation and to stop forcing citizens to make such choices. The nation's poverty and hunger is a political choice made here. The member for Liverpool West Derby is running a campaign for adequate nutrition to be recognised as a human right in the UK, which would force the government to take responsibility for ensuring that everyone in this country is well fed, regardless of their financial circumstances. This is a duty that this government has shamefully neglected. Just ask Any teacher, how many of their pupils come to school hungry each morning and struggle to study as a result, damaging their prospects for any kind of improvement in their situation? Madam Deputy Speaker, my constituents will want to know why the government is allowing this situation not only to continue, but to explode, and why having enough to eat and decent wages to feed their children are not a human right in this country. Tragically for them, under this government, the disaster is only set to get worse. Ultimately, I believe that the primary recommendation of the National Food Strategy must make healthy food available to the nation on supermarket shelves that are priced without profit and on a cost recovery basis only, in order to honour the government's obligation to the right to ensure that everyone has the right to food. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.